نحن أصحاب المعاني لسنا أصحاب الألفاظ. الألفاظ الجوفاء لا تجدي. انظر إلى المعنى.
Next question is, we can finish on this question inshallah ta'ala, which is a question that there is found in our area, many mosques, in which we find that there are Takfīrīs, the people of Takfīr, and the people of Hizbiyya, meaning these extremists. And they invite the people to their falsehood. They call the people to their falsehood. And they confuse the Salafi youth, those Salafi youth who are upon the methodology of tasfiyah and tarbiyah, which is purifying the religion and cultivating the Muslims upon that religion. And so these people, they bring these shubuhat, they bring these doubts. And so from these Takfīrīs, from these extremists, Takfīrīs, there are those who accuse Imam al-Albani rahimahullah ta'ala, and likewise Abu Hanifa rahimahullah ta'ala, with irja, this innovation of expelling actions from Iman. They accuse these two Imams. And likewise, they claim that the Shaykh Mujahid Rabi', حفظه ta'ala, Shaykh Rabi', they accuse him of lying against Sayyid Qutb. And they also declare the rulers to be disbelievers. And then they use the verse in the Quran, وَمَنْ لَمْ يَحْكُمْ بِمَا أَنزَلَ اللَّهِ فَأُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الْكَافِرُونَ. They use this ayah, whoever does not judge by what Allah has revealed, they are the disbelievers. They use all of this and they misinterpret this verse, and likewise they call to the Manhaǧ of Sayyid Qutb, this Takfīrī extremist methodology, and they promote his books and the books of the Qutbiyyin. So we ask our Shaykh, Ubayd al-Jabari, inshallah, to give us a nasiha, an advice in how to behave with the likes of these people, these Takfīrīs. And how do we stand against them? Perhaps Allah may benefit us, inshallah ta'ala. And then the questioner at the end, he says, فَإِنَّ لَكُمْ فِي قُلُوبِ أَهْلِ سُنَّةِ مِنَّا مَنْزِلَةً رَفِيئَةً. For indeed, you, O Shaykh, you have in our hearts a very lofty position. We ask Allah, Al-Hayy Al-Qayyum, that He makes you firm upon the truth until death, and that He gives you a good khatimah. So then the Shaykh begins his answer, and he says, after praising Allah and sending salat and salam upon the Messenger of Allah, he says, for indeed I welcome you, and I say that I love you for the sake of the one for whom you loved us, and we thank Allah for the fact that you have this trust in us. And I call to witness, and this is from the humility of the Shaykh. He says, I call to witness from those who are present, from the angels, and I call you to witness that I am much lesser than what you have described me. And however I am, by the praise of Allah, simply a student of knowledge, I have a certain ability which I know in dealing with certain issues, and likewise in some issues of al-jarh wa ta'dil, meaning in speaking about the people of Hizbiyya and innovation. And all of this is from the bounty of Allah. This is from the bounty of Allah upon me. And then it is from the bounty and the favor of our scholars, the contemporary scholars, and the scholars who came from before. And this is from the humility of the Shaykh, in response to what the questioner said. And then the Shaykh says, as for this question of yours about those people and how to behave with them, then the answer is from numerous angles. The first angle is, they have lied upon Al-Albani when they accuse him of al-irja, or they said that he has irja, and he says whoever rules upon Albani that he has irja, then this person either he does not know what is irja, or he does not know who is Al-Albani. But this is merely something that is relied upon. This accusation is something that is relied upon by the people of falsehood, in order that they may call the people to themselves and to their manhaj of making takfir of the sinful people in general, and making takfir of the rulers. This is just a mechanism and a plot and a ploy that they use. And the Shaykh says that Al-Albani does not have any irja at all. And as for whatever issues we may disagree with Shaykh Al-Albani, and in issues like that, then in those issues, the Shaykh, he might have relied upon principles and evidences, but none of that expels him from Salafiyya. Rather, he is an Imam from the Imams of Ahlus Sunnati wal Jama'ah, and this is how it is with the person who is just and fair. That's the first issue about Shaykh al-Albani rahimahullah ta'ala. The second issue, as for Abu Hanifa, then yes, he is from the Murji'atul Fuqaha. He was upon that particular innovation. For Abu Hanifa rahimahullah, in his view, Iman is only speech and belief. And he does not consider actions to be from Iman. And this statement of Abu Hanifa is something that is disparaged. It is opposed to the text and to ijma'. And for that reason, in that time, in the 2nd century, there were some of the scholars from the Imams of the Salaf who actually made tabdi of Abu Hanifa rahimahullah ta'ala on this basis. And some of them, they severely criticized him. However, the correct position that we hold, the moderate position, is that he is from Ahlus Sunnati wal Jama'ah, Abu Hanifa in general, and there are certain issues that are taken against him, like the issue of Iman. However, we do not revile him. We just simply consider him to be someone who erred in certain specific issues, and he departed from the truth in those issues when he expelled actions from Iman. But this is the position that we take with respect to Abu Hanifa rahimahullah ta'ala. The third issue in the question is that they have lied against Shaykh Rabi', hafizahullah ta'ala, because Shaykh Rabi', he said what he said, relying upon the books of Sayyid Qutb, quoting from the books of Sayyid Qutb. And the books of this man are a testimony against him. And the Shaykh says, I say to you that when we speak about people, our speech against them comes from 3 types of sources. Now, whenever speech is made against the people of innovation, there are 3 ways that we speak against them. The first of them is from the actual books of that man, his own books. We go to his books, which are spread, and they are written by his own hand. How can you deny that this is the truth when you quote from that book? That's the first way. The second way is that we take his recorded voice. His recorded voice. There is a tape, and that voice is his. And the third thing is that we take the information of the trustworthy people, the thiqat, who come and say that so-and-so said such and such. This is an acceptable basis for making jarh and ta'deel upon individuals. This is how the Salafis, this is how our scholars, this is how they operate. They operate on the basis of these 3 things. However, we see that the Shaykh says all of these are the masadir of jarh indana. This is how it is with us, that these are the sources upon which we can rely in order to disparage people and to show their deviation. So the Shaykh then goes on to say that Sayyid Qutb, his books are a witness against him. In his books we see the bid'ah of wahdatul wujud. We see there are statements of kufr in his books. Some examples, he claims that Islam is a mixture of Christianity and communism, socialism. And there are many other statements like this. The Shaykh just alludes to the point that he has statements of disbelief. He has negation of the attributes in his books, in his commentary on the Quran. It is a commentary based upon the Ash'ari, Maturidi, Jahmi, Mu'tazili doctrine of denying the attributes of Allah, denying Ahad, Hadith, and so on and so forth. He speaks of takfir of the rulers, making revolutions against the rulers, and so on and so forth. Many deviations in his own books, written by his own hand. How can this be denied? So the Shaykh says, we find that there are only 3 types of people who advise with the books of Sayyid Qutb. There are only 3 types of people. In fact, from the answer of the Shaykh, we can apply the same principle to the one who advises with the books of any of the people of innovation. The same categorization would apply. The Shaykh says, the first type of person who promotes the books of Sayyid Qutb, or it could be any person of innovation, is a person, sahibul mashrab nafsihi. A person who is upon the same thing. He's upon the same mashrab, upon the same drinking place. He drinks from the same place, same fountain. He's upon the mashrab of Sayyid Qutb and his takfiri methodology. Then this person the nation must warn against him. This Takfīrī, extremist, Khariji, he should be warned against. Even if he claims to be Salafi and ascribes to Salafi, we warn against the likes of these people openly. These extremists, terrorists, deviants. The second type of person is the one who does not have any criterion. Even though he may be upon the Sunnah, doesn't have any criterion. He just simply hears some nice, beautiful speech which might be found in the books of Sayyid Qutb. It is poetic, it is nice, it is, touches the soul. Like, many of the scholars actually say that in parts of the commentary fi dhilal al-Quran, it's because it's not really a commentary, it's just basically an expression of how the beauty and the feelings of the Quran. So he's writing really from the top of his head. And sometimes because he's a literary person, he manages to catch, some beautiful expressions. Okay, this no doubt is found. But then, we find that Imam Ahmad rahimahullah ta'ala, he would say that the innovators in his time, like Al-Harith Al-Muhasibi, he was a person who would bring tears to your eyes if you sat and you listened to his admonition. He would bring tears to your eyes and he would remind you of the hereafter, and your heart would soften, melt. But Imam Ahmad said, beware of him. Do not sit with him, and beware from him, because these people, they disease your heart. Right? So just because someone comes with the eloquent speech and it melts your heart, this does not mean that this person now is a person of the Sunnah. No. So a person, the second category of person who might promote the books of Sayyid Qutb is that he's got no criterion. He just hears some expressions which are good, and he thinks that this now is something, that this approach is a general approach to the person who wrote this book. That all of his books there is benefit, and there is something like this. This proves this person doesn't have any criterion or any furqan. And so we do not pay any attention to the statement of the likes of this person. We don't give it any attention or pay attention to it. The third category is a person who is jahil of Sayyid Qutb. He doesn't know anything, and he might have been deceived by the fact that the people of misguidance have given tazkiyah for Sayyid Qutb, or those who do not know his reality have given tazkiyah for Sayyid Qutb. This we do not pay any attention to his kalam or his statement.